Who invented the camera era? The X, I'm sure is some British guy or some German.
I think there's a couple of Europeans because different, there's a lot of these old inventions didn't happen like one single thing. Multiple people did it around the same time. So it's always
A couple of people's ideas, and just gets better and better and better. I just want to find out camera era. Most probably, of course, Europeans. They were the
French. There
What?
अनि दुईजना देखाइरहेको छ।
को देखा था हेर्नु त को रहेछ camera era is it's so fascinating. I see Sadhguru said such an interesting thing. I went to the Sadhguru.
Oh, you were there?
Safe soil, and he said something that was so fascinating. I'm gonna share that when you. Oh, these guys. When was it? Find out. He said,
"How come none of them are named Canon or Fuji?" I'm just kidding. It wasn't Mr.
Nikon.
It wasn't Mr. Nikon.
Hey, Japanese pioneered it. When
17th century
हो र त्यतिखेरदेखि बट मान्छेहरू हाँस्दैन थियो नि त्यतिखेर होइन people didn't know how to smile.
That's when people thought you were going to suck your soul if you got photographed, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that studio photo was like हुन्छ नि
There are actually now, there are a lot of photos in our archives that are sort of like, where people are like that. Even my grandfather's or great-grandfather in their overcoat, like with the hat on and they're just like chest out and just like stiff, straight,
that would be so weird. Imagine if somebody was smiling in the photo.
Photos
back in the day. Imagine the things that we do now, and then 100 years later, people will look at us and be like, these dumb fucks. हामीले गर्ने कति कुराहरू मान्छेहरूलाई 100 वर्षपछि त अचम्म लाग्छ होला नि.
Probably so. It also depends what kind of a world we are in 100 वर्ष पछाडि. If they'll have enough time to think back about us. Of course they will, I'm just kidding.
I have stopped listening to a lot of podcasts that I listen to. I stopped. I just stopped. I just couldn't do it anymore. Of course, I listen to it in New York Times, but I've stopped others. Everybody will understand what I'm talking about. But अस्ति बसेर मैले सुनेको एउटा podcast. Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg was there, and I couldn't miss that shit. The weirdest thing that he says that's so fascinating. In a couple of years, he says, in a couple of years, we'll be talking to each other through holograms. So imagine you're sitting in Florida.
Yeah. Imagine have a podcast here.
Yeah, we could just have a podcast here.
Yeah.
You'll be sitting God knows where. Another, let's say 50 years, you'll be sitting in Mars, or I'll be sitting in Mars, and you'll be sitting somewhere in, let's say, Rolpa, for example. And we'll just be having a conversation.
We just might.
And I was like, holy hell. And then people are going to look back at this and this conversation, and then they'll be like, these guys used to do it the hard way.
It'll make working from home a whole different thing, right?
Imagine, man.
But they've been experimenting. I remember in the 2008 election, in the American election, CNN was using a lot of this hologram correspondence. I don't know why. They could have just had
hologram correspondence?
Yeah. People were appearing on screen, and there would be someone in studio, and there'd also be a hologram, if I remember correctly.
Hologram correspondence?
Yeah. 2008 election, American election. CNN had used holograms.
They had technology like that back in the day?
I think so. I mean, I might have dreamt this entire episode, but
you watched Star Wars and then you just went crazy with
I know, but I think they had tried using hologram during the 2008 election coverage.
If you love what we are doing, make sure that you subscribe and turn on notification.
This program is brought to you by Vyas Studios. Thank you very much for watching us on YouTube. Make sure that you also listen to us on Spotify.